Customer states their Kia Sorento isn't running right. A blown head gasket has turned it into a steam train.
On today's episode of How F***ed Up is that's and
This 1996 4Runner came in with what looks to be a sketchy homemade lift kit. The fact that they didn't cut the zip tie ends off somehow makes it 10 times worse for me. This 2022 Honda Pilot with only 87,000 miles came in after the customer stated they can hear a knocking from the engine.
Yep. We're getting a short block for this one.
Customer states, I changed the fuel pressure regulator and now it's shooting flames.
This is what the inside of the pan looked like on that engine with 48,000 miles on it. This is all bearing. 48,000 miles and it's not covered at the dealer.
That's insane.
Absolutely insane to me. And if you see the bottom of this, that's all old oil. This is definitely all old oil that was dumped back in the engine so they could deny the warranty.
Look at all the metal shit.
This is crazy.
I love me some Brembo calipers. Wait a second. Customer thought they got a good deal on some winter tires after paying $160 for two looking like this.
Silly Chrysler, or I should say Dodge in this aspect. Your cam lobes aren't supposed to look like that. And as everybody can see, she was a little, let me zoom you guys out a little bit here. A little overdue for a tune-up, as I would like to say now. A little overdue.
Customer states the steering wheel sits slanted and sometimes it shakes side to side. I'd say basically all those bushings are destroyed, and especially the I-beam bushing. Customer complained of a knocking noise, and when raising the car on the ramp it made a loud bang, and the spring and shock fell on the floor. Customer states their vehicle has no reverse and is low on power when in drive. The mechanic dropped the pan to find metal particles everywhere.
Alright, I got this F-150 in for oil change, and the thing is, didn't mention about the brakes. Now you can see right here, this is close to its end of life. Probably gonna have no brakes pretty soon, but this is the point where the truck has hit the peak.
This engine made quite the noise after dropping a valve at 5,000 RPM.
I'm doing a steering gear on this Hyundai I30, I think. There's not even a gear in there. It's just gone. What the f?
Just one of those vehicles where the longer you look at it, the worse it gets.
Wow.
Apparently a somewhat common issue on some Dodge models, but hey, I bet your Mercedes doesn't have a built-in dash water feature. This spark plug came out of a 2018 expedition for an intermittent misfire code, and I think we found out why.
You wanna know something funny? This guy wants to fix this. I know some of you Rust Belt mechanics are gonna be like, oh, that's ready for a new life. No, this thing's cooked. Look at this piece. Look at this. This is not in good shape. This thing's ready to die. Look at this, man. Bro, what the? The more I look at it, the worse it gets, man.
Customer states their autopilot doesn't track. These heating sensors are supposed to be mounted away from any sort of magnetic interference. It ended up costing them around $800 to fix. What a 2018 Equinox intake in EGR looks like after 100,000 miles of short commuting trips. Customer states their car's engine just shut off on them on the highway, so they had it towed in. Looks like their lack of maintenance finally caught up with them, as the rest of the vehicle was in a bad state. This customer had just replaced their own head gasket, and either they did it wrong or there's a crack in the head.
Oh,
This vehicle was in for a pre-purchase inspection, and it looks like the seller tried to sweeten the mechanic's review. The funny thing is, the only issue was that the tyres were old.
Imagine this. The year's 2005. You bought yourself a little Renault Clio 1.4 gasoline. It's a good little vehicle. It's fairly reliable, doesn't drink much. But you want to go on a road trip with your little family, and you want to check your oil before you go? Well then, where's the dipstick? Nowhere to be seen. Oh wait. It's way down there below. There you go.
Customer states they were just driving down the road when all of a sudden smoke started pouring out the hood. They didn't overheat the engine, and it just needed this heater hose replaced. Customer states check carrier bearing and the transmission output seal, as it has been vibrating. Other than the bad output seal and carrier bearing, it looks like someone played a prank on the owner with the classic zip tie to the drive shaft gag.
So 2010 Mondeo presenters, no start, no crank, won't do anything. So basics first, jump start motor, check the fuses, and we went to this relay, which is starter relay, and I was missing the earth feed from there. So chased that back, and we found we had a really bad ECU, which was full of water. So after programming that, putting that in, we still had no crank. And I'm like, okay, we're missing something else now too. So I went through the wiring loom and have a look at this. There she blows. It might be a bit hard to see, but that little green bit there, that was his problem. And that is actually a wire that goes from the ECU up to the fuse box of the engine ECU relay.
Customer states they just want an alignment.
Bring the vehicle in this condition. Tire's completely bald on the inside. It's showing cords in some spots. It's peeling the rubber in some spots. And right here, we got a nice big old healthy bubble. Yeah.
Customer states, is my engine cooked? Yep. Customer states they heard a loud bang and then the vehicle turned off. Looks like the battery let all its magical smoke out. Customer states, I've been smelling a slight burning smell after I take my car for a drive lately. I don't quite think your clutch fluid is supposed to look like peanut butter.
Customer states brake noise. Cell rear brakes, going to do the job, pull the rotors, and the park brake shoe just falls to the floor on both sides.
Mechanic's sister said her car had been feeling different lately, and when he went underneath, he found the carrier bearing like this.
Think she's done, bud?
Bit of a mystery tyre puncture here. as the customer said they were driving and saw nothing on the road when boom, the tyre went flat and it looks like there's no entry hole in the rim.
Got this 2008, I think this is, Toyota Prius in. Complaint on this one was that he kept having to jump start it. So once it was started, it would drive fine. Turn it off would need jump starting. So he went and had a new battery fitted. Said the problem went for 3 or 4 days, and then the symptoms came back. So I pulled the cover off the battery. Negative terminal was only halfway on. Look at the positive terminal, if I lift that up, and you might be able to see, there you go, completely loose. If I wiggle that enough, that's going to come off. Okay, there we go, there's the terminals on properly. So we've got the negative one all the way on, positive one's on and tight. So let's jump in, see if it starts. And there we go, straight into ready mode. Let's do it one more time just to make sure that wasn't a fluke. Foot on the brake, and again straight into ready mode.
Who would have guessed the vehicle with botched wiring like this would be coming in for some electrical issues? Customer states my 2019 Jaguar has a big oil leak.
41,000 miles. I was not looking forward to doing a rear main today.
Thanks for watching another episode of Mechanical Nightmare. I hope you enjoyed. Remember to like and subscribe, and thanks to everyone who's been subscribing. We just passed 90,000 subscribers. Also, if you have your own clip, you can send it to us using the link in the description. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode.